next section we're going to cover is views. If you remember from the reading, a view is simply a virtual table consisting of different columns from one or more tables. And unlike a table, a view is stored in the database as a query object. Therefore, a view is an object that contains its data from one or more tables. This is used on demand, so it's not really stored, we just run it when we need it. Another important aspect to remember about views is a view is meant to be a security mechanism in a sense that it ensures that users can retrieve and modify only the data seen by them through their given permissions. And that way it ensures that they cannot see or access the remaining data in the underlying tables. So an example of some common views would be like a subset of rows or columns of a base table, a join of two or more tables, if we were using statistical summary of some base tables, or maybe a union of two or more tables. So that's just some common examples of views that you'll be working with. There are two different ways in which we can, or methods that we can use to create a view. We can either create a view by using our SQL Server Management Studio, or we can write a transact SQL statement. Let's go ahead and look at our instructions for creating our view, and we are going to be using the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio tool. Yeah, here are the steps we're going to be using. There are only a couple steps here. Okay, now we have the right steps here. Alright, back into our Management Studio, let's go ahead and expand our views by clicking on the plus sign here to expand. And we're going to right click on the Views folder. And we are going to then select New View. Now we should get our Add Table dialog box. And the only table we have is planets. So let's go ahead and add that. And we'll go ahead and look at this just a little bit more. If our database was a little bit more developed here, we'd be able to use another existing view if we needed from the Views tab here. If we want to generate records from a function, you'll find that here on the Functions tab. And if we want to use more than one source, you can click each of the different tabs to find the table view or function you wish to add your entry. So let's go ahead and take a look now. Go ahead and close. Look at our view here. Now you'll notice after we created our view, after we selected the objects we wanted to use, the View Designer toolbar will be added, and you can see that here. And that's used in case we want to further map out the views we wish to incorporate into our queries. Now if we want to build on our view here, we could select different items. Let's say we wanted to select planet names from our table there of planets. As we select an item, it gets built into our SQL query down here. So rather than having to type all of the transact SQL statements, we can simply do it here using our GUI. So I'm just going to leave this view, which will be stored as an object. We're just going to go ahead and leave it to select all the information from our planets database, table planets. We're going to go ahead and save it now. And let's just call this view 1. We'll leave it as a standard. Now you can see right away our database object here has been stored here in our views. And that's it for creating a view using our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio.